Hello everyone, I am Yashwant Buke, working as an assistant professor at IPS Academy Institute of Engineering in the Department of Fire Technology and Safety Engineering. Today we are going to discuss about the industrial hygiene and the chemicals hazards. Basically, there are various hazards are present in your occupational settings. So one of them, that is the chemical hazard. We will be going to discuss this in this lecture today. So basically, we have to understand the concept of industrial hygiene first. So we need to understand the industrial hygiene concept, and we are going to discuss the things that you are seeing in your PPT today. So that is the introduction about the hygiene and what are the steps to protect our employees and your colleagues at your working place. And another one is types of health hazard at your workplace. Basically, the types of health hazards are the hazards which are present at your working place. And next one we are going to discuss in this lecture, that is the hierarchy of the control. So what are the steps or what are the procedure we are going to use to control the potential hazard we are going to discuss. So the last one is chemical hazard. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about the chemical hazard. What are the chemical hazard, how they are present at your working place, and how we can control by using the hierarchy of the control in this lecture. Okay. So basically we need to understand the basic concept of industrial hygiene. So basically if you are talking about the industrial hygiene, so hygiene doesn't mean you have to keep your place clean and we need to keep our working place good in housekeeping. So basically industrial hygiene is the science and art devoted to the anticipation, recognition, evaluation, and the environmental factors that are arises in or from the working place, which may cause sickness, impaired health or well-being, or significant discomfort and inefficiency among the workers or among the citizen of the community. This definition is given by the AIHA, American Conference of Industrial Hygienists Association, 1959. So we need to understand what are the tools which are going to be used in industrial hygiene, that are the anticipation, recognition, evaluation, and the control of the potential hazards or stresses. And second one is how this industrial hygiene will impact on your health at your occupation. So we need to understand the another term, that is occupational health. So occupational health is deals with all the aspects of the health and safety in the workplace and has a strong focus on the primarily prevention of the hazard. So occupational health focuses on the prevention, on the potential hazard. So how they are occurs at your workplace and how it could be affect your health. Okay. So the health of the workers has several determinants, such as the risk factors at working place leading to cancer, accident, ergonomical aspects such as musculoskeletal disorders, carpal tunnel syndromes, and other respiratory diseases, and hearing loss, circulatory diseases. So there are various kinds of diseases and health stresses are be there, which will be dealt in the occupational health. And another aspect of the occupational health is also considered, that the formal and informal economy embrace. That is the another determinants will be considered in the occupational health, such as your working hours, salary, workplace policies concerning maternity leaves, health promotion and protection provision, etc. So we need to understand these all the aspects in your occupational health. So industrial hygiene using the basic tools that are anticipation, recognition, evaluation, and the control of the potential hazard. So what are the anticipation or recognition, evaluation, and control? So we are going to discuss one by one the tools. First one is the anticipation. Anticipation, it means before introduction of any potential hazard is the identification of that particular potential hazard. So we are going to identify the potential hazard before introducing of any adverse health effect. That is the anticipation. So you are going to anticipate the potential hazard before occurrence of any event. Okay, and the second one is the recognition. Recognition, it means if something happens adversely to your workers, to your work colleagues, then if you're going to identify that particular potential root cause or potential hazard, that is the recognition of that potential hazard. So anticipation and recognition is quite similar, but there is basic difference in between them. Though anticipation is before occurrence of any event, we are going to identify the potential hazard, and in recognition we are going to recognize that potential hazard that could cause the harm, could cause any harmful adverse effect to the your worker. And third one is the evaluation. Evaluation is the assessment of the potential hazard, that we are going to determine how it could affect your health, and we can evaluate the exposure of that potential hazard, such as if there is some toxic gases are there and releases in your atmosphere. So we are going to analyze that exposure of gases. How much amount of gases will be there? It will be determined in the terms of parts per million or milligram per meter cubic. So how much amount will be there of any potential hazard? Also, so it is the evaluation of that potential hazard, and we are going to compare that parts per million exposure to their standard values according to the Factories Act. How much amount of the particular chemical or substance will be should be there, and what will be the maximum level of that particular chemical. So we are going to compare that and evaluate that how it could be affect your worker. And at the last, we are going to control that potential hazard. After doing the evaluation procedure, we are going to control the potential hazard. So there is a hierarchy of the control. We will discuss the hierarchy in further slide. Okay. So workplace hazards are basically two types of hazard. One is external sources, and second one is the interaction in between man and machine. That is called as ergonomical hazard, as you can see in the slide. And first one is the external hazard. There are basically four types of potential hazards are there: chemical hazard, physical hazard, biological hazard, and ergonomical hazards are there. So in this lecture, we are going to discuss about the chemical hazards only. Okay. Now these are the tools in which by which we can do our industrial hygiene or keep our working place healthy and safer for our workers. So these are the classification of the hazards: chemical, physical, biological, and ergonomical hazards. Now, if you are going to deal with some chemicals, so basically there are some avenues of entry of that particular substance into your body. So these are the avenues, basic avenues by which any potential chemical can get into your body. So first one is the inhalation. Inhalation, it means by your breathing. Once you breathe the air, by the inhalation you got some potential agents which could cause the harm, will be get into your body by the breathing itself. And this is the most frequent avenue by which any person or any worker or your colleague will be exposed. Second one is the ingestion. Ingestion means by doing swallowing or eating or drinking something, you will allow the potential hazard to get into your body. So if your worker is working in such an environment, there are various kind of chemicals are there and they are dealing with them. So if you are dealing or handling the potential chemicals or hazardous chemicals at your workplace, so some chemicals or some kind of material can be stuck on to their hands and their body, and by their contaminated hands, they are eating or drinking something. In this condition, they are allowing the potential hazard to get into your body. So this is the ingestion. Then last one is the absorption. Absorption is the process in which your potential hazard get into your body through your skin, through your eyes. So the potential hazard or potential chemicals which will be dangerous in nature, get into your body by your skin absorption and by through your eyes. Okay, sometimes we can see there are some kind of chemicals that you are using at your home, such as is body lotion. अगर आप body lotion लगाते हैं आपके हाथों पर, so after some time you can see that particular lotion will be disappear. So what happen in this case, that particular lotion is absorbed by your body. So in such a manner, in a same way, the toxic chemicals will be absorbed by your body or skin or your eyes. And another exceptional case or the another avenue of the entry of your potential hazard, that is injection. Injection is means you are going to penetrate the skin of your body, and then the potential hazard will be get into your body. That is the injection. By penetrating the skin, and after that penetration in the penetrated area, wound or the potential chemical will be get into your body. So these are the most important routes, or we can say the avenues of entry of any chemical by which any chemical or potential hazard will be get into your body. Now we are going to continue this lecture. So in this slide, we are going to discuss the types of health effect. So basically there are two types of health effects. One is acute health effect and second one is the chronic health effect. In acute health effect, the potential hazard can produce the effect immediately after the exposure. Okay, if you are, for example, if there is any fire, so there are generation of the smoke. So due to the fire, the generation of smoke, and you are entangled in that fire. So by inhalation, that particular smoke will be get into your respiratory tract and can produce the acute health effect. So in acute effect, you will get the adverse health effect immediately, and the exposure will be for a very short time, and the concentration of that particular exposure is very high. Okay, for example, H2S, if you are going to expose with the H2S, it will produce an acute effect, immediate effect, ill effect, and it will be for a very short time, and the concentration for the H2S is very high. Okay, so this is the acute effect. Okay, and second one is the chronic effect. In chronic effect, you will be get the adverse effect after a prolonged time of exposure. For example, the workers are working in a coal mines. In this case, the coal dust will be inhaled by the workers, but in this case, you will not get any immediate ill effect. Okay, inhalation of the coal dust. So after a continuous prolonged time, for example, years, 2 years, 3 years or 5 years, after this prolonged exposure of time, you will get some ill effect. So this type of effect will be called as chronic effect. So there is a basic difference in acute and chronic. In acute effect, you will be get adverse effect immediately. In chronic effect, you will get the delayed adverse effect, generally for years. It will be for years, and the exposure will be continuous for a prolonged time. Okay, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, after 15 years, after 20 years, it will be seen. For example, if you are going to see the chronic effect, there is a silica dust, coal dust, or asbestosis. There are various diseases will be caused for a delayed effect. That will be considered as chronic effect. Okay. Now, chemical hazards and controls. There are various forms of the chemicals which are present at your working place, such as your solids, liquids, gases, vapors, smoke, aerosols, dust, mist, fumes, smokes, particulate matters, and fibers. So these are the forms of the chemicals in which they are present at your workplace. Okay, so some chemicals will be in solid form, some chemicals will be in your liquid form, some chemicals will be gases or vapors in state, smoke, and some chemicals will be aerosol, such as your dust, mist, fumes, and fogs. And some chemicals will be in particulate matters forms also, and some are all the will be in fiber form also. So these are the forms. And here you can see the in pictures multiple chemical hazard. This you are seeing in the PPT. Welding fumes, spraying mist are also there, and the dust particular matters that the worker is doing some work and there will be various kind of dust will be formed. Okay, so second one is spraying the mist, in which a worker is panting something and the form of mist, the potential hazard will be there. So chemicals are present in various forms. Okay, now air contaminants will be we will discuss the air contaminants. So first of all, we are going to discuss the dust. So according to the international standardization ISO 4225 1994, dust is defined as is a small solid particles conventionally taken as those particles below 75 micrometer in diameter. So dust is defined as if the particle size is below or up to the 75 micrometer in diameter, that particular solid particle will be considered as dust. The dust may be your various types: coal dust, silica dust, or we can say wood dust. So there are various kinds of dust, but the basic fundamental thing is there: the particle size should be or must be below 75 micrometer, okay, which settles out under their own weight, but which may remain suspended for some time. Okay, they will settle down after a certain time due to the gravity, but it will be suspended for some time. And second one is the fumes. Fumes are formed when material forms a volatile solid and metal which condense in cool air. So this is the another form of the potential dangerous chemical. Third one is the gases are the formless fluid that expand to occupy the space or enclose in which they are confined. Vapors are the volatile form of the substance that are normally in a solid or liquid state at room temperature and pressure. Smoke is the consisting of carbon or soot particles less than 0.1 micrometer. The particle size should be 0.1 micrometer, less than 0.1 micrometer in size, and the result from the incomplete combustion of the combustious material. So smoke will be generated due to the incomplete combustion of the combustionous material. Okay. Next one is mist. Mist is a cloudy or tiny water droplet suspended in the atmosphere at or near the Earth's surface that limits visibility. In winter season, you have been seen various kind of mist or fog at your working place. Okay, so this kind of tiny droplets we are suspended in the atmosphere will be called as mist. And another one is aerosols. Aerosols are the liquids and solid particles or fine enough particle size to remain dispersed in air for a prolonged period of time. So these are also some liquid droplets or solid particles of which is fine enough and will be dispersed in the air for a long period. Fibers are a class of materials that are continuous filaments or in the elongated pieces similarly to the length of the threads, and length is several times greater than their diameter. So basically in fibers, the diameter of the fiber is very less as compared to their length. So fiber will be elongated part and the diameter as compared to their length will be very less. That is known as the fibers. As you can see, the simple thread which is normally very long and the diameter of that particular thread will be very less. So such kind of things will be considered as fibers. Another one is the particulate matter. Particulates are the small discrete mass of a solid or liquid matters that remains individually dispersed in gas or liquid emission, okay, and is considered to be an atmospheric pollutant. So most of the particulate matters are small in size and mass of solid or liquid which are individually dispersed in the gas. Okay, so these are basically considered as atmospheric pollutant. Now the property of the chemicals. There are various kinds or various types of properties that any chemical can possess, such as explosive in nature. Some materials or some chemicals are explosive in nature. They are explode after getting some exciting things. They will be explode. Some chemicals will be oxidizing in nature. They will be oxidize the things. Some chemicals will be flammable. After getting some spark, will be get ignited. Some chemicals will be toxic. It will be produce the ill effect to the workers and produce the ill effect to your colleagues also. Some chemicals are corrosive in nature, such as acids will be corrosive in nature. If you will be get into contact of the acid, it will burn your skin and corrode your skin surface. Some are irritating in nature. It irritates your skin when you got exposed. Some are the sensitizing your senses, or it will be produce some sensory effect on your body. Some are the carcinogenic also. So carcinogenic materials or chemicals are that materials which can produce the some ill effects such as cancers. Okay, so these are the materials which produce or have the potential to produce the cancer, which is considered as carcinogenic material. So there are various kinds of chemicals which possess the following properties, and this is the graphical representation of the particular chemicals in nature, how they are going to be in nature. So first one is the health hazard. Health hazard will be represented by this diagram. You can see this. And second one is the flame. If there is a flammable materials, they will be shown by this pictogram. And the exclamation mark, then some irritant, skin or eye irritant, skin sensitizer will be considered as. And another one is the gas cylinders. Gas cylinders under pressure will be represented by these particular things. And if any chemical is corrosive in nature, then it will be considered as shown in the image. And another one is the exploding bomb, which is explosive in nature, self-reactive or organic peroxide. So these are the some pictogram by which we can represent the chemicals or potential hazard, and anyone can easily understand the potential hazard that are possessed by that particular chemicals. Okay. Now, hierarchy of the control. Now we are going to discuss the things how we can control that potential hazard at your workplace. So basically there is hierarchy of controlling of any potential hazard, in which the most efficient element is elimination. Elimination is the first instant, or it will be considered at first how it could be eliminated the potential hazard. Okay, so your approach is to eliminate the potential hazard first. So the hazard must be attempted to be eliminated from the system. It can be achieved by avoiding or certain process or operation is possible. For example, if there is any potential hazard such as any leakage of the H2S gas, you are using the H2S gas for your process or for any kind of things, it will be your raw material or something else, then the priority of you to eliminate that first potential hazard. Okay, so you should eliminate that potential hazard and keep your working place safe. So first step must be the elimination. You are going to eliminate that potential hazard. If you are not eliminating the potential hazard, then you can use the second step, that is the substitution. In substitution, you are going to substitute that potential hazard by a less hazardous substance. Okay, so you can substitute the less potential hazard or less hazardous substance by the older one. Okay, so this one is the substitution. And third one is the engineering control. So engineering control is much more important for the controlling of the potential hazard, in which you can change the process, in which you can change the design. By process change or design change, you can also control the potential hazard. Okay, or you can give some provision at your working place. If there is a welding fumes will be generated, then you can ventilate that particular area, or seal that particular area. Our guarding is also essential part or tool by which we can protect our workers in engineering control. And engineering control, there is a little requirement of employee action. So basically there is no any you cannot involve the employees in engineering control. अगर थोड़ा बहुत आपको लगता है, you can take some feedbacks from the employees, and after that you can design the things and you can use the potential engineering controls also. Okay, but there is no any requirement or little requirement in the engineering control of the employees. Fourth one is the administrative control. In administrative control, the exposure will be managed by doing the rotation of worker procedure or giving some training to the workers. We can control the potential hazard to expose to your worker. So recently we have seen the COVID-19 in which we have got the guidelines from the government that all the peoples will be stay at your home. Okay, so basically this is the administrative control. Okay, so we can control the exposure by keeping ourselves at your home. We are going to control ourselves to get into the adverse conditions. अगर आप बाहर नहीं जाएंगे तो आपको किसी तरह का एक्सपोजर नहीं होगा. इन द सेम मैनर वी कैन डू एट योर वर्क प्लेस. यू कैन कंट्रोल द वर्कर्स टू गेट एक्सपोज बाय डूइंग द रोटेशन. जैसे अगर 8 घंटे का शिफ्ट है आपकी इंडस्ट्री में, तो हम वर्कर्स को रोटेशन में वहां पर एम्प्लॉय कर सकते हैं. कोई एडवर्स कंडीशन है या पोटेंशियल हजार्ड है जहां पर हमें एक्सपोज होना है या वर्कर को एक्सपोज होना है, तो हम वहां पर रोटेशन कर सकते हैं. 4 घंटे के लिए किसी एक टीम को हमने वहां पर एम्प्लॉय कर दिया, फिर नेक्स्ट 4 आवर्स के लिए हमने किसी और टीम को वहां पर एम्प्लॉय कर दिया. तो इस तरह का रोटेशन करके भी हम एक्सपोजर को कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. एंड दिस इज द एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव कंट्रोल. By doing giving some trainings also, we can control the potential hazards and control the excess areas. Okay, so this is the administrative control in which we are going to manage the exposure. Fifth one is the personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipments are those equipment by which we can control the potential hazard to get into your body, or we are preventing the exposure of any potential hazard, in which various kinds of personal protective equipment will be used, such as respirators, gloves, boots, aprons, clothing, all for protection equipments, hard hats, helmets, last line, and it is the last line of the defense behind the engineering and administration control. So if you can see, these are all the tools by which we can doing the control of potential hazard. So personal protective equipments are the last line of defense. If nothing will work, then we can use the personal protective equipment. So we can say that this is the last line of the defense, and these are used behind the engineering and administration control. So the efficiency of the hierarchy of control is like that. So most efficient way is the elimination. After that you can use the substitution. After that you are going to use the engineering control, and then administration control, and at last you are going to use the personal protective equipment. So this is the least efficient. Okay, so most efficient is the elimination, second one is the substitution, third one is the engineering control, fourth one is the administration control, and at last you can use the personal protective equipments. So I think this is enough for the today. We will discuss further in our next class. Thank you so much.